Eddie, you've picked your starting 15 and your 8 players on the bench. Can you tell me about your first England team selection?
Well, selection is always about picking the best 23 for that game, and we've endeavoured to do that. It's a nice blend of experience. I think we've got 512 caps in the starting 15, and then we've brought some young guys in on the bench who all deserve their opportunity. There's been a lot of difficult calls in terms of starting positions. Started loose head prop, Joe Marler, Marco Vunipola, both very talented, potentially world-class loose head props. So the great thing for us is that we'll get a fantastic 80 minutes out of it. Now this week Joe will start and Marco will finish, but that mightn't be the situation every week. Courtney Laws, before his hamstring strain, was very close to starting. Got 3 very good locks there. Back row again, Jack Clifford's come into camp as a youngster and impressed everyone.
James Haskell at 7. What's he shown that makes you believe that he can fulfil the role that we've spoken about?
Well, he's our fittest player, and he's going to probably have to compete against Hardy and Cowan at the breakdown. He's a big physical guy, and I think he's going to be up for the occasion.
Owen Farrell at inside centre. Is this a sort of first 5/8, second 5/8 role with George Ford at 10?
Well, George Ford's 10 and Owen's 12. Owen's quite capable of playing test match rugby at 10 and 12 successfully. He's got all the attributes of a good 12. We know he's a very good 10, but he's going to also be a very, very good 12 for England.
He's also one of your vice-captains, along with Billy Vunipola and Mike Brown.
Well, Dylan's got a tough job as hooker. Hooker's got a lot of responsibility itself, and as captain we felt that we just needed to build an official layer of responsibility underneath him, which is Billy, Owen and Mike Brown. But then, as I explained to the team yesterday, everyone needs to be a leader. So Coley in the front row has played 40-odd tests for England, needs to lead the scrum. George Cruz will lead the line out. He doesn't need to have an initial next to his name. Haskell will lead the defence. He doesn't need to have an initial to his name. Same with Rob Shaw. Rob Shaw and Haskell have got to lead our defence and be absolutely 100% at the Scottish at the breakdown.
The Uncapped players on the bench, how pleasing is it for you and how excited are they?
Well, I think it's really pleasing for English rugby, and it's obviously pleasing for me that we can bring 3 guys in who are uncapped. Paul Hill's only played a small number of premiership games, but he's impressed with his scrummaging and his work rate, and he's come into camp and he's shown exactly the same things. He's a serious young man. Clifford, I spoke about before, has great potential to be eventually a test number 8, but at this stage, he's our backup cover at 7. Ollie Devoto hasn't played much premiership, a big, tall lad. I noticed in some of the media he's been compared to Will Greenwood. Well, if he's half that good, then he's going to have a pretty good test career.
The 2 travelling that aren't in the 23, a lot's been said, a lot's been written about their club form. What's needed from those 2 to break into your 23?
Well, I've spoken to both of them individually, they know. The individual conversation is not for the public, unfortunately, and the press doesn't pick our team. They might think they're playing, the press might think they're playing well, and they are playing well for their clubs, but I'm selecting players to beat Scotland on Saturday, and at the moment they're not in the best 23. That's not to say in the future they won't be.